as promised, I will deliver. Obviously, a lot of branded decks are very similar in terms of the cards they use, mainly focusing upon the Albaz, especially against the Blue Eyes tier deck. You've got the Albaz play, obviously the Makuria, Alaba, all the very similar kind of cards and engines, the Cartesia, the Quem to trigger to be able to special summon the Albaz, the discard a card, play into a fusion, especially if your opponent is running Blue Eyes, because it's one of the most popular decks at the point. But it allows you to play into Mirror Jade if the monster is from the extra deck, so it's a really solid play. Obviously, you have Branded Lost as well. This is the deck build I'm running with anyway. I have debated on contemplating whether to make some certain changes. Happy Feather Dust that I very rarely see. The only time you really get thrust off is if you're extremely lucky, and if you're going first, all you can do is set traps. The traps, on the other hand, it really depends on how you want to play it. Because obviously you could double up on the Retribution to be able to give you your Lost from the graveyard. If you can get the Grasshook Screener off, you can use it to bring back Branded in White. You can use it also to be able to add Branded Fusion if you were to mill that. Obviously you got the Branded Opening as well to discard a card to be able to take a Despia monster from the deck and either add it to hand or special summon it, which would normally play into Alaba, can bait at an Ash or an Imperm. The traps, on the other hand, I don't really use Fusion Duplication much, because once I've obviously triggered the Branded Fusion, I tend to try and Retribution and return it back, and then that way, if I need to, I can play it again the following turn. But then also, a lot of the time, you would probably play into Branded Fusion, then play Branded in White to be able to banish them, so then you can play into another Fusion play. But it really contemplates on how you want to play it and how you want to work with it. I don't think Branded Sword's massively great. I did play earlier on where I used a Branded Sword, special summon tokens, and they're pretty shit. Ideally, it's really only good for getting your Albaz back from being banished. Especially, yet again, I'm going to reference Blue Eyes because it is one of the most overused decks at this point in time. You can trigger the effect of Branded Sword, be able to add your Albaz back, set your Albaz, and then play into Albalenitus. You know, or you can normal summon it, discard a card, play into Mirror Jade once more. Or if they have a light monster, you can play into Albion into the Syrian combo. It really depends on the way you want to go about it. But yeah, it's really mainly there to return the Albaz back, especially for the fact that you can play off of the Albion to be able to send the Branded Sword, but most of the time if you play off the Albion, you're sending Retribution or the Branded Fusion card. If you have Saranir in the graveyard, Saranir can send a Retribution as well alongside the Branded Fusion. Depends on what you got there first. So there's like numerous ways of being able to throw cards away. You can use the Gold Sarcophagus to banish the Tragedy. Tragedy will be able to give you an Alaba in hand, and then you can normal summon Alaba to play off. Obviously, if you get Ashed, Impermed, and stuff, you still have plays around it. For me, I don't use Verte much, but it sits there. I'm in a toss at the moment between running Chimera again, Guardian Chimera, to be able to get an extra couple of draws and destruction off the field, especially with situations like True Light. Yet again, I'm referencing Blue Eyes. Taking that into account, if you do play into Sanctify, you can special summon an Albaz. Well, you can special summon any card. If you want to bring out Quem, knock your socks off. I tend to focus on special summoning the Albaz and then targeting like a Link monster they've got in their graveyard, or something that can benefit off a fusion play. Most of the time I tend to try and aim to go for a Mirror Jade, because most people will have an extra deck monster in the graveyard, especially, like I said, Blue Eyes. Branded Lost is very useful. I run it at 2 just in case. This is why I think Branded Lost and Retribution could be useful, because if you mill it off the Grasshook Screener, you at least be able to return the Branded Lost back. And then whenever you conduct a fusion summon, whether it's off Cartesia or even Albaz or Branded Fusion or Branded and Red, Banishment, etc., you will still be able to add Makuria. Because then Makuria, while you control an Albaz fusion monster, you can negate an opponent's card effect. If none of that works, you do have Fusion Deployment. Fusion Deployment, basically you special summon an Albaz, you special summon a Quem, you special summon Cartesia. It's really entirely your choice, of depending on the situation you are in and obviously the way it can play out in the duel. I've been playing this for a fair while. I used to run it a while back ago, and then I thought, man, there's too much support for it, I don't want to stop playing. But then I think less people are starting to play branded now, so I'm kind of like back in on that shit. Foolish Burial, you can send yourself Tragedy. To be fair, taking that into account, you can still go Gold Sarcophagus on the Tribe Makuria, and then this will be able to allow you to add the Albaz. So if you are playing up against Blue Eyes, you can go Gold Sark, Makuria, add Albaz, set Albaz, Alba, Lenatus again. But yeah, this is ideally the deck build. It's a work in progress. I'm practicing. I'm seeing what cards brick, what cards don't. Ideally, not many people run Regained, but I don't like running the Bestial Abelion without the Regained. And because we're running at a 60, it just makes sense. Because most of the time, whenever I get branded Lost, I end up with Bestial Abelion anyway. So if you end up going Grasshook Screener, mill all your cards, activate Retribution, add Lost, activate Lost, and the other Lost in the graveyard, you've got a Bestial Abelion that's just going to do nothing off the Albion. But yeah, the good thing about Super Poly, you do have cards that return back to your hand during the end phase. If Fusion Monsters into the grave, you can add High Spirits, you can add Cartesia, you can... that's pretty much it on the return front. Yeah. Obviously, you have Branded Sword, which can banish to be able to add the Albaz, or mentions it. You have the Fusion Duplication, which can target the Branded Fusion in the graveyard and trigger the effect. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I don't know if it works for Super Poly though. Target one Fusion or Polymerization normal or Quick Play spell in either player's graveyard. Banish that spell. Oh, I always thought it was your own graveyard. Okay, so maybe this is better. I just haven't had a chance to really play it off, but okay, cool. Anyway, we'll go over the deck build. There are potential cards you could add in, like Starving Venom. Just in case you play up against Dragoon, you could run Drago Stapelia. That's the only reason why I choose to run these type of engine cards, because of, like, if they have Dragoon on the field or Magia or whatever, you know, it could be a problem. Then this is hit and miss, because this is where Bestial Abelion comes in handy. You can use it to bring out Chaos Star Source, which is one Light or Dark Dragon monster and one Dragon monster, which then will allow you to be able to destroy True Light or a Runic Fountain or something, you know, even a monster. So basically, if this card of fusion, somebody can target cards your opponent controls a number of Light or Dark monsters, uses this card's material, destroy them. So it's really good. But then again, I think maybe Chimera might be the better choice, because at least if you fusion summon, you have to protect. Obviously, it means you're not running Polymerization because there's no protection, so that's the only downfall to it. But I am considering going back with this, so that way when the Albion goes to the graveyard, we can play Branded in Red. We can activate Branded in Red, play into Guardian Chimera with 3 different names, because you're going to have Cartesia, you're probably going to have Quem on field, you're probably going to have Albaz somewhere. You're going to have a nice choice. So basically, if it's card of fusion summoned by spell or card effect, you draw cards equal to the number of cards used as material from the hand, and if you destroy cards on your opponent, it's equal to the number of material from the field. Even if it's 1, you know what I mean? Being able to pop a True Light on the field. Like I said, this is a work in progress. These are old cards used to run in the Branded engine. But for the time being, the overall deck is pretty much looking like this. So we'll go through the deck profile for it. We have Thespian Tragedy at 1. You can run this at 2. It's up to you. Maxi, just ban Maxi already. Like, just get it fucking done with. We don't need it. It's done. No one pulls it unless you're extremely freaking lucky. To be honest, every single opponent has it. Just ban it. Just get rid of it now. You've got Triple Ash. You could run Fuelos. It's really up to you. I think Fuelos is such a dead-ass card because you have to not have cards on the field. It only benefits you if you are going second, but then again, you've got Ash Blossom and everything that can pretty much shut it down. Ash Blossom called by Crossout Designator, and every time my opponent will have Crossout Designator. Okay, so we've got Tragedy, 2 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Albaz, 3 Alaba, 2 Makuria, 1 Springen's Kit. If you're unfamiliar how a Springen's Kit works, Springen's Kit, while an Albaz is in the field, on the field or in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. If you special summon, it allows you to access Branded Fusion and anything branded related, really. Cartesia at 2, or Cartesia, depends on how you want to pronounce it. Double Quem, 1 Magnuma, 3 Saranir. You could run Druis, it's really up to you. You can run Baldrake as well, which can actually tribute off one of the other Bestials, especially in the current format of Dark and Light basically being overused in a sense because of the current meta. We have Albion, very useful card. You could run it at 3. I'd prefer it at 2 because sometimes it could be a little sticky to the hand when you end up with 2 and you're just like, fuck. Bestial Rebellion, very good access. You can send this card to the graveyard to be able to add the Magnuma or the Saronir. Depending on the situation, if I have Saronir in hand already, I'll go with the Magnuma, bait out the Magnuma. They're going to go their Bestial and then we go Saronir. Because ideally you want to get Saronir into the graveyard to send a Retribution or a Branded Fusion. Okay. So we've got the Quem, we've got the Cartesia at 2, Quem at 2, Magnum at 3, Saronir, 2 Albion, 2 Bestial Rebellion. You could run Nib at 3, but I kept bricking hard with it. I ended up with 2 rocks in hand, and I'm just like, bruv. But yeah, I reduced it down to 2, so I've got 2 Nibiru's, 1 Happy Feather Duster. Ideally, this is very hit and miss. I don't think it's that great. I think there's better cards out there you potentially could choose from. It's still a very hit and miss card, whether we want to run it or not. Foolish Burial at 1, Gold Sack at 2, the grass looks greener for 1, obviously being limited. We have Fusion Deployment at 3, just because it's a banger of an Albaz play. Especially a good Ash Blossom would... Ow. We have Branded in White at 1, Branded Fusion, 2 Triple Tactic Thrust. This was originally at 3, but I just didn't see the value for it. It's only really good to get the grass looks greener. That's if your opponent activates anything to be able to trigger it off. We have Branded Lost at 2. I did drop this down to 1, but I want to see how it plays at 2. We have Regained. You can get rid of Regained. I only run it because of the Bestial Rebellion, getting rid of the Albion to the graveyard. And then being able to, at least if I have a Bestial in hand, I can benefit of recycling a card back, but it's up to you. Super Poly at 3, Cool Buy at 2, Branded Opening at 3, Branded in High Spirits. I don't really play off the Branded Opening much, so potentially that could be 2 as well. It's good for graveyard fusion monster protection from the graveyard. That made no sense. Branded Opening, if it's in the graveyard, it will protect your fusion monsters from card effects. Jeez. You know, when you talk for 12 minutes at super speed, you kind of like, yeah, High Spirit's definitely worth having. The only problem is if you pull into it and you don't have a monster to reveal, it's shit. It's just another brick card. Hopefully you got Super Poly with it so you can fuck it off to the graveyard. But yeah, Branded in Red at 1, Branded Sword at 1, Branded Banishment at 1, Duplication at 1, and Retribution at 1. You could run it at 2. It's really up to you. Most people scrap off the Mud Dragon and the Garura solely for the fact it's not necessarily needed. There are better cards you can go with, like Typhon, SP, but the only problem is with Branded, you are locked into fusions. The second you activate Fusion Deployment, bam, you're locked into fusions. This is why I'm hit and miss about Verte. I would rather go all in on the fusion side, because obviously we played up against Lab the other day, and they activated the barrier card. I can't remember what it's called. It might be Dimension Barrier or something. I might be able to search it. Basically, it's a standard lab card, which basically locks you out of being able to conduct like fusion summons. Oh, Dimensional Barrier. Yeah, so regardless, that's going to ruin your Branded deck anyway, whether you run Verte or not. Super Poly, to be honest, another reason why I run Super Poly is just in case Dragoon comes out. You know, we have the Albaz to dispose of the dragons with Magia and stuff like that. If you saw the short, you would understand where I'm coming from. But we need a way of disposing of Dragoon if someone is running it. So Super Poly is my out for that. Because it is a very powerful monster, but it's just shit. DPE is better. Okay, so we've got ourselves Mud Dragon, Garura, Titanclad, Albion for 2, Corantis for 1, Double Mirror Jade, 1 Searing, Lebellion the Searing Dragon, 1 Albalenitus, 1 Grangugnul, 1 Rinbrum, Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, Chaos Star Source, and Verte. But yeah, I'm thinking of scrapping Verte. It's just there just in case I need to play off Super Poly or Branded Fusion, but it's like, again, in the current state of the meta, Beck Baylor, Imperm, there's everything and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the deck build for Branded. If you want to see me use another deck, obviously, or a deck build for another video, let me know. And more than likely, I'll probably play it on stream learn my way with it, make adjustments. But thank you guys for supporting the channel. You're amazing. Peace.